Like all 5-year-olds, I hated going grocery shopping with my mom. You already know the rule as a black kid with a black mom, you better not embarrass me in this store. But I was trapped in that cart, far from my Sega Genesis, far from my Ninja Turtles, and my mom would take her sweet time choosing what cereal we were eating that week. I was slowly dying in that cart, whining the entire time. And remember, this was way before smartphones and iPads. Okay, maybe not way before. All I had was my imagination. Boring. Then one day, I saw an Archie comic in a magazine stand. It was the only colorful, kid-friendly thing among tabloids and puzzle books, and it was my only sense of refuge. Since I can't whine in this shopping cart, Ma, can I at least read this Archie magazine while I'm in the store? Yes? Great. Unfortunately, I couldn't read. At least not very well. Little did I know that little magazine would start a love of reading and a lifetime of pursuing making art. What's up, folks? Welcome to the Fourth Wall Break with Johnnie. I'm a production professional that's always been a huge nerd, and now I'm using my powers to shed light on media I enjoy. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel so you can get notified for any new upcoming videos. And today I'm talking about those cheap digest books for kids that stood the test of time. Archie magazines. Like most young kids, I found reading a little bit difficult and scary. I have a big sister that's 3 years older than me, and her books always intimidated me. She was and is an avid reader and was always proud of her ability to do so. To me, she was reading advanced stuff like The Babysitter's Club and Boxcar Children. All the kind of stuff you see at the Scholastic Book Fair. She also had a handful of Archie magazines. When I saw them in the supermarket that day with Mom, I realized, hey, this is where she gets them from. Once I started flipping through pages, I remember thinking, dang, these some big kids. Archie and his crew were in high school. He had a car, the infamous jalopy, close friends, Jughead, Betty, love interest, Veronica, and sometimes Betty again, and even a rival, Reggie. I was 5.5 and I could not relate. I also couldn't relate to the world that Archie lived in. He lived in a world that might as well have been Narnia to me. We lived in the projects in Queens, New York, in the 90s at that.
Fascinating.
Archie and his friends lived in Riverdale, Everytown, USA. They weren't dodging crack vials on the sidewalk or being told to just say no. Archie's world was idealistic, wholesome, and free of the dangers that existed in my reality. I wanted to learn how to read to make sense of all of this, but all I really could do was thumb through the pictures. Archie Comics' 1950s styling and clean-cut Americana, that was super foreign to me. But that's because Archie wasn't born in the 90s. He was created in 1941 by John L. Goldwater and artist Bob Montana, originally as a parody of the wholesome Andy Hardy movies.
What'll it be?
I want a chocolate soda with vanilla ice cream, please.
Make it two, buddy. You bet.
The comics were instantly popular, and by the late 40s, Archie became the face of MLJ magazines. So much so that the company officially renamed itself Archie Comics Publications. Hey, when you got a hit, you got a hit. I practiced sounding out the words, rereading the panels, until I could follow some of the story. My sister would challenge me and help me read them. Eventually, Archie Comics became my training ground for literacy, and even for drawing, since I'd spend hours trying to sketch what I saw in those digest books. Once my reading skills increased, my sister and I had built up a little collection stored in a shoebox. After a while, I started volunteering to go food shopping with Mom, and I'd read 2 books as fast as I could, and by the time she was finished shopping, I'd ask her for the 3rd one that I didn't read yet. Usually, I'd base it off the artwork. Eventually, I got older, more confident, and really advanced in reading. I had shelves of novels, but as I got older, I still collected Archie comics from time to time. They became my sister and I's prized possessions. We used to be like, hey, did you read this one? Let me trade your new one for my new one. There were no comic shops near us, at least none that I went to, so I didn't have any superhero comics to buy. With Archie, I just throw it in my book bag, take it on trips, lose them, ruin them. I even read them in the shower.
What?
Yes, I was a very strange kid. And I would get my ass beat for taking books in the shower.
That boy ain't right.
I was one of those kids, y'all. I can't give you an explanation that makes sense today. I couldn't put books down when I was a kid. To this day, I still have boxes of old, yellowed, and water-ruined Archie digests that I can recite from memory. Though they're not in my house anymore, they're in storage somewhere.
Look at these bad boys. You want to see one? Don't rip it. How is it? It's pretty cool, right? You have no respect for the side of your mother's head.
Fun little anecdote. Years later, when I started dating my wife, I randomly told her about reading Archie in the shower as a kid. On my first birthday with her, she gave me a basket full of small, cool little gifts. They each had little notes attached to them. I got a mug that I still have to this day because I love coffee. I had a hat with a team that I liked on it. And then I saw she bought me a collection of the first Archie comics. She remembered, and she didn't judge me for reading in the shower. And that's why she's the one. Here it is, right on camera too, which is crazy. Look, wifey got me this. And honestly, when I'm done here, I might spin through it and chuckle. Maybe I'll read something to my son, who knows? Archie wasn't just on paper. In the late 60s, there was The Archie Show, an animated series that gave us the hit song Sugar Sugar by the Archies. The song was actually the #1 single of 1969, believe it or not. Later, Archie popped up on Cartoon Network reruns in the 90s, which is where I first saw him animated for the first time.
Reggie!
idea sneaking up on a guy when he's sneaking up on another guy?
I honestly only remember seeing it once. I stayed up until 1 a.m. on the weekend just to watch that one episode, and I never saw it on Cartoon Network again after that. I don't know, maybe I saw the one and only airing. I have no idea. Then came the modern era. The CW's Riverdale from 2017 to 2023 was a dark, moody teen drama spin on Archie's world. It was surprisingly popular, and it gave Archie a whole new life for a whole new generation. I'll be honest though, I never got into it. I was much older by then. I was chasing my career and my dreams, and Riverdale had nothing to do with that. But I respected that Archie was still around, found a way to reinvent himself, and was still relevant. That was my dog, regardless. Walking down memory lane and sharing my love for these comics is so revealing. It's honestly something I wouldn't have admitted about myself 10 years ago. There's nothing tough or cool about liking Archie, especially when you're trying to be a rapper. And it takes some balls to admit that I still have them, even though they're withered and falling apart. It also goes to show how universal being a young person actually is. I think we kind of forget that as we grow into adults and we chase those dreams that we say we want to chase. I had nothing in common with Archie, a kid in an idealistic town based in the 50s. Yet I connected to him for many, many years. I also had girls I liked. I also had goofy friends. I also had a really shitty car. And I also had the desire to do the right thing. It's important that we don't lose sight of the things that connects us just because something seems so foreign to us.
Message!
Archie was my gateway into reading. It was the first real challenge I set for myself because I wasn't about to let my sister flaunt how well she read over me. And it makes me wonder, how many other kids were just like me, stuck in a grocery cart, discovering Archie for the first time in a supermarket magazine rack? That rack is still there, but it's not the same. Today, most kids in shopping carts are glued to their iPads. They're able to play Fortnite, jump on IG, and they can play Roblox on the go. For me, in the 90s, I didn't have that. I had Archie. That's it. They cracked open my imagination, sharpened my art skills, and gave me my first taste of storytelling. And it's probably why I continue to tell stories today. Anyway, that's my story. Thanks for joining me. And tell me, what weird things did you do as a kid? Did you read in the shower? No? Just me? Please, God, don't tell me it was just me. Sound off in the comments, and please don't judge me too much down there. But as always, stay inspired, stay blessed, and I want you all to know that I see you. I truly, truly see you, and I hope you see me too.